Hey guys, Akimurasaki here. Today I want to talk a little bit about the latest cancellation attempts that a lot of online content creators have been getting and also about cancel culture in general. But first, let's start with some retro. Let's go back to the announcement from Minecraft, the official account here on Twitter. They've announced the Good Trouble DLC, which, as far as I know, is also a mod pack for Minecraft for the regular edition, where you can explore the Good Trouble, meaning you can learn supposedly about the civil rights movement. I talk a little bit about this in one of my previous videos. I don't want to go into super details, but in general, both me and a lot of other people have criticized this DLC for being more in line with propaganda than actual educational content. And so, what has perspired? A VTuber from Face Connect, Jelly Hoshiumi, recently was also a part of the people who criticized this DLC. She said that she doesn't want to have politics in her, blog building game, which, by the way, honestly is a fair opinion. It's not offensive, not, aggressive, hostile or anything in any way. Nevertheless, she was made to delete her post on Twitter, and later on we get this interesting announcement from Face Connect. Yes. Thank you for supporting Face Connect, blah blah blah. We sincerely apologize for any issues caused by this incident. Face Connect's focus has been and always will be providing entertainment through different personalities and a wide range of unique content. We do not tolerate racism, hatred, or bigotry in our communities, which is a fascinating way of saying you don't really know who your core audience is. If you guys don't know, Face Connect is known as one of the VTuber corpos, or probably the only VTuber corpo who allows, free speech to its talents. It lets the talents be as edgy as they possibly want. Some of that borders on being political, some of the borders on being both racist, hateful, and bigoted, actually, at least according to people who are not fans of Face Connect. And we even have this amazing post from a while back from Sakura himself. Jelly was sharing that she's going to go to the countryside on the 20th, and maybe she's going to bring her laptop and Yeti mic, to stream a little bit, to continue her content creation. And then there's this response from Sakana himself. If you guys don't know what these emojis here mirror, it simply means I'm looking at you, village jungle monkey. Yeah. Jelly is very often referred to jungle monkey because, she's Southeast Asian. That's the most normal thing to do, to call her a jungle monkey, right? What are we talking about here? Anyway, you might like this sense of humor, you might not. I'm completely okay with it. I'm not bothered by it whatsoever. But a lot of people who hate on Face Connect are so incredibly bothered by stuff like this, bothered by Pipa, and before that bothered by Face Connect talents playing Hogwarts Legacy and not bowing down to the cancel mob. But now, of course, we have several other targets on the list of the cancel mob. More recently, we have Rev says Desu, and his wife Straub, who have lost their sponsorship with Advanced GG, with a gaming supplement company, because they had the wrong opinions. Yes. And this was in a response to a post about fuck ice and how, of course, Rev responded. The response wasn't exactly the smartest to exist, but it was a response. It was just like an everyday on Twitter, basically, nothing special. And that kicked off another cancellation campaign, this time towards Rev. And Rev, of course, lost the sponsorship because the company, quote unquote, the company had to bow down to the mob. And on the list of more recent targets, we have Emiru here, who, if you don't know, she's a gamer and a cosplayer, and that is pretty much it. These are her things. She likes gaming, she likes creating cosplay, she does really, really good cosplay, she's super talented at this. She very often goes to cons, even hosts some events on her own, either alone or with some of her friends. And she's not a political streamer. She has no idea by her own admission about politics. And I think her response to her being asked about her thoughts on ICE is actually a really good, really diplomatic response. But let's
to an extent where I'm like, okay, sure, I get people wanting big content creators to like say their opinions on like important topics. I get that, right? But it's like, if you need a streamer who doesn't even know anything about politics to tell you about politics, you probably just need to like get off the internet. Like, just stop. Like hello? Like, I don't.
Okay, so can someone explain to me why this is a bad response? This is probably the most milquetoast, regular, normal person response you would hear on the topic. And you will hear this response from a lot of other content creators. And basically, I just want to say this very much mimics what was happening during Hogwarts Legacy, where a lot of people who are literally just playing Hogwarts Legacy were forced to have an opinion on trans rights, on J.K. Rowling, on Harry Potter, on a lot of, real life, unrelated, barely related things, simply because they were playing a game. And you might see people like this Victoria Ducharme here. Translation: the horrors that the rest of you face don't affect me, and I'm annoyed that y'all expect me to care about people other than myself. The horrors that the rest of you face. The horrors the rest of you face. Victoria, is everything okay in your life? Do you need help? Should you maybe call a therapist? I feel like you should perhaps seek some psychological help, because this is not how a normal person interacts with other people. And of course we have geniuses like here Denims. Denims, the single brain cell creator, never thought I'd see the day we'd be fan-sitting the modern Gestapo. That is very rich, Denims, because if you might not remember, I mean, you have a single brain cell, it has a lot of work to be done. You might not remember yourself doing a kind of Nazi cosplay here for OnlyFans. Yeah, this is the mustache man, if you have noticed. He's talking to Al Hussein here on November 28th, 1941. Yeah, so this was basically what she was holding. I don't quite understand how do you put one and two together? Yeah, it's honestly beyond me. But yeah, obviously we have more stuff. Here we have a user on Twitter, Karai, who mentions that there is zero benefit for a cosplay streamer to weigh in on politics. Now, he does emphasize that this is about a specific topic, about her needing to have an opinion about a specific topic. But as I said before, it's not really that one topic. The general problem is demanding someone who does not do politics to have a political opinion on any topic. It could be ICE, it could be trans rights, it could be anything. And why do I think cancel culture is such a big problem? Because eventually you get situations like this one here on patient gamers. Nothing to do with Hogwarts Legacy. Where someone has to, a moderator has to post a moratorium on Hogwarts Legacy, and how people shouldn't be discussing Hogwarts Legacy on patient gamers because, and I read, Reddit gives us the anti-brigading tools they promise. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of useful, but the world finally stops being dicks to trans people. How is this related? J.K. Rowling drops that so she stops getting money from the game. We figure out a better way to do this. Well, a better way to do this is not to conflate the game with the author. This is kind of a situation of, the separation of the art from the artist. But there's something a little deeper going on here that I really want to touch on because it's very important. It's not merely cancel culture, and specifically the left-wing cancel culture that's the problem. It's the problem with how the left-wing and right-wing people see things, how they see the world, how they see different problems. See, the issue is that most right-wing people, and also a lot of people in the center, the way they view world is via guiding principles. These very often are grounded in Christianity. I mean, what a surprise. If you think about it for a longer, you'll notice that Christianity, the Decalogue, and basically the Christian tradition is the basis for a lot of like legal and a lot of moral codices, and basically the basis of ethics. Ethics by itself would really not exist, again, if you think about it longer, wouldn't really exist without Christian values. The more I thought about this, this is the only reasonable conclusion. Now, this is people on the right. People on the right have guiding principles. They do understand via either the Decalogue or simply, embracing these values. They do understand the different layers of violence, the different layers of aggression, even, and how these layers are different. The people on the left, they completely reject the Decalogue. They completely reject any and all Christian values. And even on a personal level, they absolutely struggle with being able to recreate some kind of like a structure of valuation. Hogwarts Legacy is a perfect example of this. Why are they saying that the game is transphobic? Is the game Hogwarts Legacy transphobic? No. Are the creators of the game Hogwarts Legacy transphobic? No. Okay, so where does this accusation come from? Well, it's because of J.K. Rowling. Who's the creator of Harry Potter? Who is used as a basis for Hogwarts Legacy. Now we have 3 levels removed from all of this. And also regarding J.K. Rowling, if you've seen her tweets, obviously she's being super toxic and kind of like a mean girl very often. But that's not the point. She never advocates for violence. She never advocates for, concentration camps. She never advocates for like a eradication of a specific group of people. She never advocates for any of these things openly. She doesn't even allude to this. The kind of the core of her being anti-trans is her not accepting trans people in female spaces and in sports as well, which again is controversial, but it doesn't mean she wants to eliminate people. These are 2 different things, okay? And people hate her for this. Now, the way they react with their hate, they wish she would die. Yes, they wish her unaliving. Now, do you see the difference? It's having an opinion on a controversial topic versus wishing someone death. I feel like there is a range between these points, but the left does not understand this range. They don't have guiding principles. They genuinely think these things are the exact same thing. And it was in the past the exact same, for instance, with the death of Charlie Kirk. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, the left was cheering, and they thought, we are now getting cancelled for cheering on someone's death. Yes, because you were celebrating someone's death. You were not disagreeing on a controversial topic. You were not saying someone should go to jail, maybe someone should lose a job. No, you were literally advocating for someone else's death. You were saying, who's next? You were giving names. This is completely unacceptable. We're talking about completely different things. You can, and this is the point, it's completely fine for us to disagree on core topics, on controversial topics. But if you go from disagreement to wishing someone that they disappear from planet Earth, you need help. You need genuine mental help. And this is both the case with Hogwarts Legacy and now the entire ICE situation, and now a lot of the creators actually losing their jobs and losing their sponsorships. They're financially affected. They're getting cancelled because they have a differing opinion on a topic. I want to really, really highlight this. Guys, you really need to step away from the computers and get serious help. But this is it from me on this topic, and I hope I didn't enrage you guys. Anyway, I see you in the next one. Mata ne!